July 5th, 2022, Moorhead, Kentucky, 65 miles west of Lexington. A warm summer's day turns to night in the backyard of Douglas Windsor McCloney III. Doug's security cameras are on duty when they capture this. A mysterious pale figure appears. It's lanky, yet hunched and lurking near the back garden of a home. The figure moves slowly, carefully, as it seemingly looks around while approaching the owner's car. Field researcher Ken Gerhardt shed some light on this creep-tastic footage.
Now, it's worth noting that the town of Moorhead, Kentucky is certainly no stranger to close encounters. On November 21st, 2003, a local psychologist named Virgil Davis, along with his two teenage sons, were driving near their home in Moorhead, Kentucky, when they saw this strange glowing object in the sky. And according to the eyewitnesses, this thing actually descended into a nearby field. When the two Davis boys went out to investigate, they heard sounds of a woman screaming, like a woman being, in their words, ripped apart, which prompted them to make a 911 call. So a few weeks after this incident, a crop circle was found about 45 miles south of Moorhead. Based on this additional information, is it reasonable to assume that a woman was actually abducted by aliens? And that's what these boys heard when she was screaming? And if so, could we connect it to this strange video?
For Gerhardt, this ghostly gremlin also reminds him of the state's most infamous cryptids, the Kentucky Goblins.
According to several eyewitnesses, these strange, short-statured, silvery humanoid creatures appeared on the scene, very similar to what we're seeing in this video.
Now, the Hopkinsville Goblins were allegedly connected to a UFO sighting. In fact, many speculate they could be members of the Greys, the widely reported humanoid aliens made famous by incidents like Roswell. But others suggest Kentucky's goblins don't come from the skies above, but from deep under the ground.
Mammoth Cave National Park in Kentucky boasts one of the largest cave systems in the country, and it has been speculated that these goblin-like creatures came from deep in the earth.
As you can see, the body of this creature is very humanoid. But when it gets close to these parked vehicles right here, take a look. It appears to be much smaller in scale than your average person. One could even say it is goblin-sized. Let's see what our experts think. Biologist Stephanie Manka explores the underground goblin theory.
Animals that have adapted to live exclusively in caves, they don't need to produce pigmentation to protect themselves from the sun, which is what we see here in this video.
Cave dwellers like the Texas blind salamander and the eyeless olm all share the same similar white color Manka describes. But for Manka, the body structure of this creature kills the idea that it's some sort of spelunking goblin.
If this were a cave-dwelling animal, like a goblin, we would expect it to be on 4 legs to be able to get into smaller spaces. It doesn't really make sense to me that a being in a cave would have evolved to walk on 2 legs.
Anatomist Jeff Meldrum tries to determine if this tiny driveway demon could possibly originate from off-world.
It looks otherworldly on the basis of the very uniform appearance of its coloration, its texture. It has very spindly appendages, very narrow arms and legs. I don't immediately see any definition of hands or feet.
While the creature is undeniably strange-looking, Meldrum doesn't think it fits the profile of the Sutton Farm invaders or the Greys.
I've never seen an eyewitness depiction of a Grey describe that posture. This crouching, skulking figure. Its head to body proportions aren't in line with that stereotypical image. You know, it's not beyond the realm in my mind of a person in some sort of a costume. The limb proportions don't seem to be out of the range of possibility for a human. I would investigate with people much more knowledgeable about the technical aspects of that sort of a video.
So that's exactly what we did, by taking this video to our forensic video analyst, Michael Primo.
So this video is a camera recording the playback from another source. Digitally, this is a completely different format than what was originally recorded by the surveillance system. And so is this an authentic video? It's inconclusive. We don't have any original properties about the video, and whether or not it's some sort of extraterrestrial is difficult to say, because it could be something that's staged And in an effort to conceal that information, the operator simply made a video to try to hide the effect that that had on the camera.
Our verdict? We're calling this an unidentified creature. It certainly could be a hoax, but without more data about the footage, our forensic video analyst couldn't say for sure. But I gotta say, Kentucky, goblins, aliens, and bourbon, we couldn't do the show without them.